You tell yourself it's just imagination, harmless, creative, even inspiring. But one day, you realize you've spent more time in your fantasies than on your future. You're the writer, the actor, the audience, living inside the movie you wish your life was. It feels beautiful, safe, addicting, but it's hard to break free from, hard to focus on anything else. It's not laziness. It's addiction disguised as imagination, and millions quietly live this way, lost in worlds that feel more real than reality itself. It's called maladaptive daydreaming, and it's more common than panic attacks. But your brain is not broken. It's just addicted to its own imagination. The trap of the perfect world. It starts small, a harmless fantasy before bed. You replay that argument you should have won, or picture your main character comeback arc. Then suddenly it's 2 a.m., your dinner's cold, and you've mentally accepted an Oscar that doesn't exist. Your brain loves it. Dopamine lights up like a slot machine. It doesn't care that nothing actually happened. It just registers reward achieved. So you keep going. One more daydream, one more plotline. Before long, you're basically living two lives. The one that exists in black and white, and the one that's in 4K IMAX inside your skull. And every time you come back to reality, it feels like switching from cinematic mode to low-budget rerun. How it starts. Protection, not weakness. Maladaptive daydreaming usually starts as a genius-level survival hack. When real life felt unpredictable, chaos, rejection, stress, your brain went, cool, we'll just build a better one. Inside that world, you're in control. Everyone likes you. Things make sense. It's not weakness. It's your mind being an overachiever at emotional safety. The problem? That comfort becomes a mortgage. You start living there full time, rent-free, but dream expensive. And every hour you spend in that safety bubble is one you don't spend building a life that doesn't need escaping. The brain hijack, dopamine shortcut. Here's where neuroscience gets spicy. Dopamine, the brain's do that again chemical, fires every time something feels rewarding. Real achievements, fake ones, doesn't matter. Your brain can't tell the difference between I actually did that and I just imagined doing that while lying on the couch. It just says, nice work. Same again tomorrow? So now, real life feels like dial-up internet. Slow, glitchy, and full of pop-ups. Fantasy, on the other hand, is fiber optic dopamine. You're not lazy. Your brain just did the math and realized imagination has a better ROI. Why climb the mountain when you can just picture yourself at the top with perfect lighting and a motivational soundtrack? The fallout. When fantasy replaces living, time stops behaving normally. You check out for 10 minutes and somehow lose 3 hours and a meal. You ghost group chats, forget appointments, and start living life in highlight reels that only you can see. Meanwhile, your actual life starts buffering. Conversations feel shallow. Work feels fake. Even pleasure, music, food, friends, starts to feel like you're watching someone else enjoy it. And the guilt hits hard. Because you know you're avoiding life, but the alternative, the real world with its bills and awkward small talk, just doesn't stand a chance. It's not that you don't care, it's that your reward system's been hacked by its own imagination, like your brain installed a casino in your head and forgot to tell you. If you've ever wondered why escaping reality feels easier than improving it, this is why. How to reclaim reality. Breaking out of it doesn't mean killing your imagination. It means taking it off life support. Here's how. Step 1. Awareness and naming. You can't fix what you keep pretending is just creativity. Call it what it is. A loop, a coping mechanism that overstayed its welcome. Naming it is like switching on the lights in a haunted house. The ghosts lose their power when you see them clearly. Step 2. Structure and routine. Unscheduled time time is prime real estate for escapism. Build your day like a toddler-proof room. Fewer gaps to fall through. Small wins count. Chores, workouts, journaling, literally anything that gives you a dopamine drip from reality. Step 3. Grounding and sensory awareness. When you drift off, anchor back to your senses. Notice how the chair feels, the air smells, the dog stares at you like you owe him rent. The present moment is like gravity. It pulls you back if you remember to feel it. Step 4. Behavioral disruptors. Interrupt your patterns. Walk without headphones. Change the playlist if a certain song is your fantasy trigger. Get sunlight. Real sunlight. Not the kind in your imaginary beach montage. Step 5. Therapy and support. CBT, EMDR, trauma-informed work all help reconnect imagination with reality. You're not unfixable. You're just running beta software. Therapy's the patch update. Step 6. Creative redirection. If your inner world is that vivid, use it. Write, paint, film, build. Turn your daydream into something that exists outside your skull. You're not losing imagination, you're publishing it. Why it works. Retraining the reward system. Here's the science-y hope part. When you start rewarding real-world actions again, dopamine learns to care about reality. At first, it's boring. Everything feels gray, like you're watching your own life on airplane mode. But repetition rewires reward. Eventually, effort hits the same circuits fantasy once hijacked. That's neuroplasticity, the brain's fancy word for, yes, we can fix this. And every time you pick reality over reverie, the circuit shifts a little closer to healthy. Slowly, work starts to feel meaningful again. Conversations start feeling real. And that movie in your head, it stops running 24/7. You finally get to be the actor and the director again. The reframe. What daydreamers get right. Maladaptive daydreamers aren't broken. They're just running imagination on ultra settings. You don't need less creativity. You need better boundaries for it. Because let's be honest, normal people can't build entire cinematic universes while doing dishes. That's not failure. That's creative horsepower misfiring. The goal isn't to turn it off. It's to aim it somewhere it can actually build something. Because the same mind that escapes reality can also redesign it if you let it. Maladaptive daydreaming is the mind's ultimate twist ending, a coping mechanism that became the villain. It promised safety, control, perfection, and then billed you for it in presence. But here's the truth. Every time you pull yourself back, even for 5 seconds, you're breaking the spell. You start noticing sunlight again, the real kind. You start feeling the weight of your own hands, the way reality hums when you actually look at it. The world stops being background noise and starts being your set again. It's not instant. It's not easy. But every small return is rebellion against the fantasy that tried to replace your life. Reality doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours.